Afraid to take a stand. Next is Shelley Luther. She showed all of us how to have the courage to stand. That's next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
I am so excited about this episode because I'm interviewing a true hero in this country. Her name is Shelley Luther. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard her name. She is the salon owner who famously was arrested and then released by Governor Abbott because she had the courage to stand. Welcome to the show, Shelley.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I got to tell you, I was so excited about this because my wife and I were watching the saga unfold from the very beginning and rooting you on. And to me, it played out like a Hollywood script. Can you kind of take the audience back to day one? Tell everybody that, how scary that must have been to take a stand.
At first, it didn't seem scary because we were just it was more scary. It was scarier that we didn't have income. To us, we were struggling, and as people that are, entrepreneurs, we were, pretty good at going out and, being able to get income for our family. And the hairstylists start calling and saying, thanks for not making us pay rent, but we can't even pay our own mortgage or feed our own kids. And I really was left with no choice. It wasn't like I was scared to open. It was like, this is what I have to do because I've been given no other choice.
When you kind of announced to the media that you were going to do this, were you prepared to go to jail?
I said I was, but I think that kind of melted in as I went. I saw as the days unfolded and the police showing up and the restraining orders and the cease and desist orders, I knew once we started going down that road that would probably become a reality, but I was okay with it.
How long were you there?
I was only there 2 days out of the 7-day sentence.
What did that feel like?
It's humbling. It's it's jail. It's what you would think it would be like. It's not fun. And honestly, while I was in there, I was wondering why the other women were in there so young. And it saddened me because I'm thinking, I'm only in there 2 days. Some of these women had calendars in there where they were crossing off days at a time, months at a time. And I'm wondering, what could have these young, like in their 20s,
yes,
what could they have done to get months-long, years-long sentences? And maybe they shouldn't be here that long. So my mind already started thinking maybe I was put here for a reason.
And then Governor Abbott releases you.
No, he
No?
doesn't. No, a lot of people think that.
Okay.
So actually, the Texas Supreme Court released me after my attorney filed, and it wasn't actually a release, it's a suspension. So basically, my sentence is in their hands. So I could actually go back for the rest of the 5 days, and so it's in their hands right now. And the city of Dallas is actually suing me they have an injunction against my salon to take it away permanently, and also all of these other fines.
Right.
So, but a lot of people think Governor Abbott, kind of came in and rescued me. He did, though. I will give him credit for retroactively going back and saying, no one should be put in prison for trying to feed their family. I'll give him that. But he actually didn't have the authority to release me from prison because I was put in jail for contempt of court.
Wow. Well, you didn't intend to become an international media star, but I'm sure
No.
your name was in papers in Europe, and we could probably find articles in third world nations that mention your name. We have a clip from The View, and I want to play just a little bit of that right now.
Good morning, Shelley, and welcome. Megan?
Thank you, Whoopi. Good morning.
Hello, Shelley. Thank you so much for coming on. Texas had been under stay-at-home orders since March 22nd, but on April 24th, you defied those orders and reopened your salon for business. We heard a snippet of your story in that clip that we just played, but can you please explain to everyone watching why you decided to reopen your salon?
Well, there were several reasons. I mean, obviously, we were all in a panic when this broke out and the virus was spreading, and of course, we were willing to shut down 2 weeks, even 3 weeks. But when the government help was not coming, and no one was really even replying to any SBA loans that we were applying for, unemployment in Texas, you couldn't get through. The website was crashing. My hairstylists were telling me, look, I'm about to go to people's houses to do hair because I just don't have any money. I decided to open because it's not safe for them, obviously, to be going to people's houses for them or their clients. And I just felt like if I opened, I could create a sterile environment and make it at least a lot safer and follow CDC guidelines and regulations. And I really just didn't want to be the reason why they weren't making money.
Right, and they say you could have avoided jail time if you had apologized to the judge. Do you think there's anybody that you should apologize to outside of the judge, like, the folks that are working so hard on the front line, folks like that? Do they, is it something you would have done for them as opposed to just saying to part of the government that wouldn't open up?
That's a good question, Whoopi. Of course, I'm appreciative and have friends that are, the real heroes in this situation that are on the front lines and doing what they need to do in order to keep us all safe. But when I have other businesses like the pet groomer next door, that's been essential, quote unquote, the entire time. You could buy CBD oil. You could go to Home Depot and buy flowers. 200 people in the garden section. I didn't see why it would be any different for me to open up using much safer guidelines than what they were doing.
So impressed. Great job. You're a natural with the media. You never set on this path. You're like an accidental celebrity. So as you pray and think about why this all happened to you, why did it happen to you, and what are you supposed to do with it?
I think it happened to me because God wanted it to happen to me. I think I was put in a specific place at a specific time for a specific reason, and I'm listening. I was beat over the head, honestly, with it. And now I just believe that every person that I come in contact with is part of the plan and part of the journey. All the money that I've received, it's not, we've just been giving it away to people that are part of the plan and part of the journey. And so, honestly, yeah, it's not anything that I wanted or that I tried to make happen, obviously. But now it's out of my control. It just is what it is, and I'm just going to pursue it.
I know that you don't think of yourself as a hero. We were talking about that off camera. You're humble, but you did inspire millions and millions of Americans, and I think you spoke for millions of Americans who found what the government was doing a little bit of an overreach. Because as you said on The View, some of the inconsistencies. Why is this place allowed to be open and you're not allowed to be open? You really put a spotlight on some problems.
Right. Well, we're still having those problems here in Texas with bars not being open compared to restaurants that look exactly the same if you took a picture of both. I just don't think that it's correct. If this virus is so scary, then everybody should be in their homes and no one coming out. You can't say that this is a safe place and this is not. Or, you know, in California, they're saying stylists can do hair outside but not inside. It's like COVID's outside now and not in, like,
Yes.
make up your minds, or let us get, or give us money, which none of us want to do. We just want to go to work. But make up your minds what it is. If you can't, let us go back to work until you guys can figure it out. But in the
Yes.
meantime, we've got to make money and feed our families while you guys do whatever you do to figure it out.
Well, you've gotten on the radar screen of a lot of politicians. I believe, am I right? Did Trump mention you in a news conference? Or I know.
I think he asked Governor Abbott about me, like, how's the salon owner doing or what's happening. I think he wanted to make sure that I wasn't in jail still, because I'm pretty sure, like most of America, he was pretty concerned that someone just trying to make money for their family was,
Yeah.
you know, in jail.
And you've had some pretty famous clients recently. One of them, we're going to show some video. Ted Cruz came to get his hair cut at your salon.
He
Tell us a little bit about
did.
that.
You know, he stayed in contact with us, like even when I was in jail, talking to, you know, got in contact with my boyfriend, prayed with him both nights that I was in jail. He has a really good family support system that still stays in contact with us. And I just think they're really good people. And I love that he wanted to come, and he did need a haircut. He said his wife Heidi was saying he had a mullet. But not just that, but just to say that, you know what, it's not about getting a haircut. It's about taking a stand and taking our country back and saying, you know, even someone that is a politician saying there's too much government outreach is a pretty big stand. And I was really proud that he said that, and really grateful, actually.
So as we wrap up this segment, what do you think you're supposed to be doing with all of this? You know, the fame is okay, but you got to do something with it. So what are your plans? What are you going to do?
Well, I want to take it step by step, but obviously I've been given kind of this platform for a reason, and I just want to use it to do as much good as possible. I've always been kind of like a helper. I was a teacher for 13 years. It's kind of in my blood to be that way, but now that I actually have, you know, financing to do that, and someone thought that I should have a platform, then I'm going to help as many people as I possibly can, giving them a voice or finances to do what they couldn't do by themselves.
Wow. Such an inspiration. Shelley Luther, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
We're going to put
you.
your website up. CourageToStand.com is the website. Shelley Luther, it's been an honor.
Thank you so much.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.